car seat in Indian immigrants are a very successful brand in US. Big threat to them is undocumented Indians. Most of America and the world heard of Kaz Patel for the first time when he was announced as trans pick for FBI chief. Was not this a little different from hearing of Kamala Harris for the first time? However, heated the talk on his politics and career gets the man's identity is kind of familiar because battles come on. That's the commonest diasporic trope of all. At the business end, they have been long tagged to America's mortals and Ontarif's diamond trade, but that cast also looked into medical school once upon a time. Reminds all the Gujju doctors are also a thing. Overall, he seems well cast in the high performing Indian American immigrants mold. Bharati Mukherjee's story of immigrant wanderlust. Jasmine notes that the world is divided between those who stay and those who leave. The caste family story of India, Uganda, Tanzania, Canada, US reminds that this search for Indians is also about violent victims sometimes. It's about holding on to inherited traditions through all the seas and all adoption of new traditions. Its waves also keep throwing up new routes and route farers. The westbound multitude from Gujarat and Punjab now have great competition from South India. It is Hyderabad that now has US's largest consul here, and Telugu is now the 11th most spoken foreign language there. China is the only diaspora that's in touching distance of India's, which is larger and more successful globally. India's democracy is an important plus on its immigrant CV, but one threat on the horizon needs to be taken seriously. Indians trying to illegally enter us from its Canada border now number 22% of total attempted crossing. India now has the third largest unauthorized population in US, keeping company with Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. This trend has the potential to erode all of India immigrants' brand advantages. History of the future. Nostradamus says, keep getting it wrong, and this is Fab Anupam Srivastava. He erroneously landed the case of the White House to Kamala Harris, called Nostradamus of US presidential election. Alan Lichtman is a historian who used data and his 13 case true or false question rather than hallucination to look into the future. On the other hand, Nostradamus used astrology and visions to deliver his forecast in cryptic quatrains that evaded understanding and were hard to judge for their accuracy but still earned him a stellar reputation. In spite of the fundamental difference between these two methods, although Leachman Coley contested being titled Nostradamus after getting a few wins right, he did not try hard to shake off the title. It must have been gratifying to be the new Nostradamus, but being wrong about Trump's win last has put him in a spot and has made him ironically more famous than before. Facing a flurry of interviews, he said it felt like it's been a year since Tuesday. Lichtman is so used to being right that he has held a host of factors responsible for his errors such as disinformation, teach and Musk. Finally, he said what he could have said earlier: I can be wrong. I am a human being, or inability to peep into the future is not such a bad thing. If outcomes were unalterable, our actions would have to meaning. What Leachman ignored was precisely what lies outside his 13 keys: the human effort. His keys over covered topics such as the charisma of candidate, scandals, foreign and military failures, but overlooked the power of campaigning. Instead of blaming other factors, Lightman, a man in his 70s, may like to consider tweaking his keys and acknowledging the power of new media and internet based platforms. For centuries, soothsayers and psychics have been sought despite rarely getting it right, an exception being Skyliva Brown's prediction of COVID. Brown hints at the end of human life around 2100 when the light go out not for the planet but for us human. It is better for the world that doomsday prophet futurologists have been proved wrong repeatedly and that the earth still spins on its axis, that we are still around and we know that we can alter the course of events with our actions.